Hi, and welcome to the Yarn Happy Geek podcast. My name is Laura. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Ravelry as Yarn Happy Geek. There is also a group on Ravelry for the podcast if you wish to join. Welcome back to all the old viewers, and welcome to any new viewers. So, let's get started with this week's episode. On to Whips of the Week that I have been working on since last episode. First up is the Ron Weasley blanket, and I finally finished a row of squares. So here we go, the row of squares. Now this Ron Weasley blanket is actually a commission. I first started off as something for me, but then somebody wanted for me to make them one as a commission, so this is now a commission. I will eventually make one for me, but right now, focus on the one. Although I had started working on another one, like I was doing two of the same squares at the same time, but figured might as well just focus on the one blanket. And next up is my slow but growing Cozy Memories blanket. It's only 3 squares, and I might as well see where I use each of these yarns from. So this yellow and blue are Cascade Heritage yarns that I use in a Ravenclaw Pride commission exchange. And this Laurel Green is from... Okay, I'm trying to remember. I cannot remember. But I used it as one of the 2 colors for a Slytherin Pride commission. Oh, now I remember the name of the yarn company. This is Sweet Georgia Yarns that I used for this square. And I'm actually going to be knitting the next square later today, which is the other yarn I use for the Slytherin Pride socks. And I don't know what yarn I'll use next, but we shall see. And next up for the Whips of the Week, the Bane Mask, which is another commission I'm working on, and I keep saying I hope I finish it before so-and-so next convention. But since I am really working hard on this will hopefully be done by Fan Expo, which is end of August, beginning September. Like, I just have the detailing to do left on this. But the base and a good majority of the metal layer is all done. And this is actually a very neat thing to make. I'll be posting of course all the info on the patterns, and if I can remember, yarns in the show notes on the Ravelry group. And the last whip of this week, I finally got back to work on my Griffin socks from the Knitting Wizardry. Or is it? Yeah, Knitting Wizardry book. So, yeah, I don't know if you'll be able to see the details on this, but I'm so happy to finally get back onto another sock for myself. And this is one I've been needing. Well, let's face it, there are 2 socks that I have been meaning to finish for myself. One's already got 1 sock finished, and I'm in the middle of the foot section, which was my Jack and the Bean socks that I showed on the last episode. And this is still the first sock I'm working on for the Griffin socks. But it's a work in progress. Hopefully I will have more done by next week. And that is it for this week's Whips of the Week. Alright, on to finished objects. I only have one finished object, and I posted it on my Instagram, and I actually entered it into the June edition of the Harry Potter Knit-Along, hosted by Katie of the Inside Number 23 podcast, and it's a Niffler! And weirdly, this obviously was a commission, but the time turner is mine. I just had to put it in his little pouch, but let's face it, he is an adorable little Niffler. Yeah. And the fact that he just, ended up in this pose as I was sewing on all the limbs just made it even more adorable. I basically like to call this the seductive Niffler, because it is so adorable, and it's so let's face it, he's trying to seduce you with his cute little charming ways. And he's also and obviously my time turner. He's still my time turner. And I actually do plan to make more and have one for myself. But yay! Niffler! So, that's it for this week's finished objects. Hopefully I can have something finished by next week. But we shall see. Now on to Podcast Watch. Now, recently I have been binging on the podcast episodes of Inside Number 23, hosted by the lovely Katie and her adorable pug Rolly. And it's because of her I actually kind of bought a book, which is this one, which I'll be talking about more in the featured book section. But obviously, Katie, when you show this book on one of your first episodes of your podcast, I just had to pick up a copy for myself. And it is absolutely amazing. Yeah, so basically I have been re-binging all the old episodes, trying to catch up to watch all the new episodes that I have been not caught up on. But let's face it, since I do all my knitting and crocheting every day, I'm able to catch up fast. So right now it's just a re-binge watch. So if you haven't been to her channel, I'm going to actually post a link to it in both the show notes and the info bar here on the video. And so that's it for Podcast Watch. So now on to featured books. And in these are obviously talking about the faux taxidermy knits that I found through the Inside Number 23 podcast. And obviously I fell in love with a good majority of the patterns on here. Now, as you can tell, I have something marked in here that is technically I'm working on, but it is right now hibernating in whip limbo. And that is the tiger rug. Hopefully I can finish it before the end of the year, but we shall see. We shall see if I finish it. And another thing that I'm actually going to work on as a gift from my mom are the bear coasters. I'm going to make these for Christmas for her. Yes, I've already started on my Christmas gifts for this year. Like, at the beginning of this year, I started or should I say, after last year's Christmas, I actually started planning what I would be making. Because I usually make about 3 gifts for 3 different friends. And, let's just say, everybody just loves the stuff I make. You can see all the stuff I have made in the past on my Facebook or my Instagram. But most likely it's going to be posted on Facebook. And bonus, the next feature book is knitting. The Knitting Wizardry book, which is where I have my Griffin socks pattern from. And I'm actually planning another knit, from this book. Well, actually I'm planning 2 knits, but first one I'm planning, because I have the first starting yarn, is a cap full of caps. And if I can which I will be starting sometime this week. And if I finish it before the end of the year, I'm going to put it into the Harry Potter cowl, hosted by Katie of Inside Number 23. And I know there was another one of this. Oh yes, I remember. And I also have plans to make the tracery vest, because it is absolutely gorgeous and looks like stained glass. I've already picked a yarn for the stained glass that I absolutely fell in love with. And let's see, there is one more. Yeah. Also plan to make those fingerless gloves, because I need at least something small to work on, so I will hopefully be able to pick up the yarn at a special thing that I'll be talking about in the next segment. And that is it for this week's featured books. I normally do 1 book for a week, but this time it was 2. Because, if you haven't noticed, theme of most of the items used in each segment had something to do with Harry Potter, or the wizarding world of Harry Potter. So, let's get on to the next segment. Alright, this is the final segment, which is knitting news. Now, as I mentioned in a previous episode, I am helping out with the TTC Knit Along, which is coming up next month, or should I say, in a few weeks. And I am one of the co-captains for Team Fair Isle. And, well, this is actually my first time doing the TTC Knit Along, so I'm so happy! And weirdly, 3 out of the 5 yarn shops on the route I'm co-captaining on, I have actually been to, one of which is right near my place. So, that is exciting. Because, well, the yarn shop that is near my place is called The Yarn Guy. And it's amazing. It's where I go to for all a good majority of my amigurumi supplies. And if need be, I can actually order some yarn from there, which I kind of need because I am running low on one of my skin tone yarns for my dolls that I make. And next bit of news is I am also a part of another Ravelry group called Platform 9 3/4, which is a Harry Potter group where we do funding stuff. We have some teaching openings up, and I am going to be a Care of Magical Creatures professor there. And we're also looking for students, so if you wish to join, I'm gonna post the link to the group in the show notes. And, well, that is actually it for this episode. And, yeah, that's it. So, have fun knitting, crocheting, all the crafty goodness. And I will see you next week on this episode, in which I have to... Actually, next week I'm filming a day early because something is happening on the day I normally film, which is today of next week. So, yeah, because next week, since the day I normally film, I'll be super busy with something else. I will be filming a day early, but it will be scheduled to go up on the normal podcast schedule day I do. So, that is it for this week's episode again. Stay crafty, my friends.